Hey drummers, I'm Sam Adato, and I established Sam Adato's Drum Shop in 1993, but I've been in the business for almost 30 years. I have repaired and refurbished hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of snare drums, tom-toms, and drum sets, and hardware. I can talk to you one-on-one about any problems you may have concerning your drums or hardware. All right, now, if you're seeing this and you're not on the website, go to samadatosdrums.com for details about the live tech support and the examples I'm going to show you about this feature right now. All right, see ya. Hey drummers, one of the most frequently asked questions to me is about drum tuning. Now, for instance, on the snare drum, whether you want your drum to sound like John Bonham, Buddy Rich, Phil Rudd, Stuart Copeland, whatever, I can help you achieve that. We can talk about it one-on-one. The relationship between the resonant head and the batter head is probably the most troublesome for most drummers. I'll show you my tuning method on how to achieve those kind of tones. Also, I can show you how to work the snare strainer properly and how to set the wires up to achieve maximum response, sensitivity, and crispness. I'll show you how to work the snare strainer properly to prolong the lifespan of it and how to use it very efficiently and smoothly. Also, if you have any problems with the tension rods loosening up while you're playing, probably mostly in the area of impact, I'll show you the products and how to use the product to lock the tension rods down, and you'll never have that problem again. If your toms aren't sounding the way you want them to sound, I'll try to help you achieve that. We'll go through the tuning and the relationship between the resonant head and the batter head. The way I tune my drums is for maximum tone and projection. Whether you want it to sound like that, or more of a deep, low, thuddy sound, or you're playing bebop and you want the high cracking, say Max Roach or Elvin Jones sound, I'll tell you how to tune your drum to achieve that. Another important part of your sound is the bass drum, along with the snare drum. A lot of drummers have a distinctive sound. You know who it is when you're listening to a recording by the sound of the bass drum or the snare drum. Now I can show you how to tune your bass drum, once again, whether you want it to sound like John Bonham or Phil Rudd, like an AC/DC kind of sound. Now I like my bass drum to sound more in the John Bonham, Ian Pace, Buddy Rich style of tone. And I can show you the proper heads to use and how to tune it to get that kind of sound. For instance, this would be more of a John Bonham or say Buddy Rich big band style of tone. I've tuned literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drums, but before I tune a drum, when I put a brand new head on the drum, I stretch it. And the reason I stretch it is to prolong the life of the head, which will save you money, and it will also stay in tune better. When I talk about my drum head stretching method, drummers will say, oh yeah, I stretch my head too. And this is what they do. They say, this is how I stretch my drum head, and they press down on it with their fist. Well, to me, that's not really putting enough pressure on the head to really stretch it. I'll show you my two-step method on how to properly stretch the head. It'll prolong the life of it and save you money in the long run. I'll show you how to do it. This is how I like my snare drum to look when I play a gig. This is a 1971 Ludwig Superphonic. And the age doesn't really matter, but I can show you how to polish a drum that's completely dirty and make it look like this. Okay, I have polished hundreds of drums like this. Dirty, filthy, you can barely turn the tension rods, they're so dirty. I can show you how to take this drum apart and polish it to look like the Ludwig Superphonic I just showed you. It doesn't really matter what the brand is. the fact is that I will be able to make this drum. If you have a drum that looks like this, I'll show you the product that I use and the technique I use to make it shine like it's brand new. When you hit that stage, man, you want to be shining like a star, and you'll sound even better when your drums look great. If you're having a problem with your bass drum pedal, for instance, if there's any extra play where the beater tightens into the cam, or you're not getting the speed or smoothness or power that you think you should be getting out of your pedal, I know all of the adjustments depending on the brand. Every brand has a little, basically they're all the same, but there's little differences. I can show you different settings on to how to adjust the throw, the spring tension, or how much of the beater shaft you want in or out to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. Also methods of getting, if your pedal is making noise or squeaking, I can show you how to get rid of all that. I'll make your bass drum pedal work at its optimum efficiency. I can show you how to do it. If you've ever had your tom mount slip on you, constantly slipping, and you just can't figure out how to make it tight, you're always fighting it, you're playing a gig and the tom it just keeps on moving around and you've had enough, you just don't know what to do anymore, I will tell you the product and the tools to use to keep that tom securely tight onto this arm. I'll show you what to do, I'll tell you what to do. So if you have a problem with a stand, let's say your snare drum, and you're playing a rehearsal or a show, and the stand, it just keeps on slipping down. It just, no matter how much you tighten it, it just keeps slipping down. Now, I've been to jams and played on drum sets where that happens to me. Unfortunately, I'm playing and I don't have the proper tools to fix it properly, but I can show you now how to make your stand, whether it be a snare stand, a hi-hat stand, or a cymbal stand, stay tight. It'll never move again. You will be happy, happy, happy. All right, drummers, looking forward to talking to you live, one-on-one via Skype. Now, all first-time customers, you will receive a free Sam Adato t-shirt. Now, I like vintage things, and this shirt represents the address from the old San Francisco shop, but you'll get a brand new shirt with the new Eugene, Oregon location. I hope to talk to y'all soon.